Welcome to Lakewood, Colorado, host of this 2019 RMBL playoff baseball matchup between the Boulder Collegians and the Fort Collins Foxes. We join you audio-wise a little later than we expected, had some of the audio, but we're here with you now. Ethan Jordan alongside Jack Carlo from All-Star Park. Next offering is over Fitzgerald. It's 1-2. It's 3-0 Fort Collins. They've had three hits in the inning against Jackson Hewlett, also a hit. Jackson's gotten 2 out and trying to get out of a tough first inning. 1-2 pitch. Fitzgerald goes after one.
In beautiful park here at All-Star Park. Not so beautiful internet. We apologize for the late start, but we're nonetheless.
We were just discussing before we realized the technical difficulty with the we were discussing the Collegians' win yesterday over the Cougars. Ground ball to first. Picked up by Turner Davis. He'll flip it over to Jackson Hewlett, who loses the hat, but tagged to end the inning. We'll stick right with you to break down everything from yesterday and get you all caught up in this matchup. But we're headed to the top of the second inning here. 3-0 Fort Collins. So the Collegians were able to pick up a win yesterday in this RMBL tournament. It's a double elimination tournament. They beat Cougars 9-5 right here at All-Star Park. Big day for Turner Davis, 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs. The pitching was excellent. John Youngblood and Tommy Shriver combined for 2/3 innings, allowing only 2 earned runs between them. So it was a good start to the tournament, but now the Collegians have some work to do here against the Fort Collins Foxes. The man on the mound for Boulder, Jackson Hewlett, pitched against Fort Collins his last time out, starting on the bump, and had a great 9 innings. I think he gave up 1 earned run, if I'm remembering correctly, maybe 2. And allowed the Collegians to beat Fort Collins on their home turf for the first time this season.
Again, getting that first win is just huge, just ensuring that you stay in the winner's bracket. Tough game here today, but as we saw yesterday, I think it'll be up to the Collegians' offense to get the win.
It's really tough having to come in your second game and face the number 1 seed in the league. These Foxes coming in today have not played in the tournament yet because they got a first round for winning the league. So you get a really tough matchup on day 2 here.
Also, as we were talking earlier, if the Collegians win this game, we will be back 7 p.m. And if we drop this one, we will be playing Saturday at 8 a.m. So certainly a must-win ball game for Boulder.
Yeah, Coach Eddie Toledo was telling me he doesn't want to go out to All City Park at 8 in the morning. I mean, that park is in South Denver, so that's a pretty good drive from Boulder.
It's about a 50-minute drive today. Yeah.
From here to Lakewood, so it's going to be like an hour, to All City at least?
Yeah, probably at least. So with the damages to Highway 36, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so certainly don't want to be playing at 8 a.m. This turns in against Joe Richter. Richter got the Collegians 1-2-3 in the first and misses way outside to Davis on his first pitch here in the second. As you mentioned, Turner was 3 for 4 yesterday, looking to stay hot. There's a good pitch from Richter right in there for strike 1.
Davis has been seeing the ball well. 3-hit game yet.
This one is flown out to right field. Drifting back and not able to find it is the right fielder as Prokop had to duck out of the way of it. Davis second, he'll slide in there safe with what I imagine they'll score a double as that one came off the. So the sun really an issue for these right fielders, as we saw Kelby Richardson have trouble with one in the first. And now Prokop has trouble with one here.
Stay hot, Turner Davis. Big hit here to start off the inning.
Yeah, despite the issues for Prokop, that ball was mashed out there to right, it just off the wall. It's about the same distance out in right field as it is at Scott Kerr Park, 330 down the corner in right. I think it's the same in left.
Yeah, not the biggest of parks. See if we can see a few balls fly out tonight.
Here's Kelby Richardson, the right fielder, takes strike 1. Kelby, they hit him leadoff yesterday. He's been swinging a hot bat of late. Cooled down a little bit. A day was 1 for 3, but still a solid performance with a walk. Had 2 RBIs. Scored a run. You can't argue with that. He's been really seeing the ball well. 1-2, swing and a miss, 1 after 1. He probably shouldn't have. So 0-2. That was on the mound from Richter.
I think Richardson's definitely got to shorten up. Just put the ball in play here. Get Davis over to third base. Less than 2 outs. Down 3 early on. You got in. Lead off double. if you just play some small ball here.
Richter's 0-2 to Richardson, and Kelby pops it up foul, drifting towards the Dutch one. Will get onto that grassy knoll over there, out of play. For Richter on the season, he's pitched 32 and 2/3 innings pitched, so he's been the horse this year. They're throwing one of their better guys out here. He does have a 5.5 ERA, so he's given up his share of runs. 30 strikeouts to 13.
A little bit more.
Davis not the fleetest of foot at second base, but he runs all right for his size. Still 0-2 on Kelby Richardson.
Foxes are playing about medium depth in the outfield, so no guarantees of singles.
0-2 comes inside, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kelby. The rest of the bracket this RMBL tournament, the Sox defeated the Denver Pirates yesterday, so if whoever wins this game will face either the Sox or the Saints. Playing the Rough Riders right now, actually, as this one's grounded to short. That'll at least move the runner over, as Richardson is retired, and got him by a step, did Eric. So with 1 away, that brings up Chris Amador.
Amador has also been swinging the bat better as of late, after a slow start to the season.
Yeah, they've been really relying on him ever since the departure of J.J. Reeves. He's become a center fielder and has gotten a lot of playing time. He drew yesterday's game, also had an RBI. First pitch to him was right down Broadway for strike 1. So the Sox are moving on to the second round already, I believe. A break. Breaking ball goes over the head of Chris Amador as he ducks out of the way. So I believe the loser of this game, they'll play at 8 a.m. I'm trying to realize this bracket in my head. It's a bit of a complicated bracket with the double elimination going on. It's not just your straight-up bracket like you'd see in the NCAA tournament or something like that.
I am a big fan of double elimination. You never like when your season just comes down to one game, especially in baseball. If you just have a bad day, I think all teams deserve a second chance.
Absolutely. Baseball is a series sport, and when you don't have the time or the resources to play series, like here in a smaller league like the RMBL, the double elimination is Amador fouls it off, and he's got a 2-strike count on him. Davis at third base, 1 away. Chris Amador trying to drive him in and to seal for the Collegians. I think the loser of this game will either play the Pirates or the Rough Riders.
Hopefully a winnable game.
2-2 is outside. That is, of course, unless you can beat the Saints today. We'll see if we can get updates on that game for you throughout our broadcast this afternoon. Chris Amador, runner at third, 1 away. Top of 2, will trail at 3-1 as we move to the bottom of the second here from Lakewood. Come on back to All-Star Park with back here at All-Star Park in Lakewood, Colorado. The Fort Collins Foxes and the an RMBL playoff matchup here in the second round. Ethan Jordan and Jack Carlo alongside you. Jeff Vance, the catcher, leads off the second inning for the Foxes. Foul she sees from Jackson Hewlett. Back to the screen. It's 0-2. Collegians were able to strike for their first run in the top of this inning. They trail 0-2 from Hewlett. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on just 3. So that's good to see from Jackson, who was roughed up a bit in that first inning, but he looked to settle in a little bit at the end of the first and then gets the strikeout here in the second.
Yeah, nasty curveball to put away Vance there. He struggled with that in the first inning, but I think he's finally found it here in the second inning. There it is again.
Broke up to swing and miss at one, the right fielder. 1 to Dillon is a fastball inside that he can, well, they say he tipped it, but matters not. It's strike 2. 0-2, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Jackson Hewlett, 6 pitch counts here in the bottom of the second inning.
Hewlett is just getting the ball and getting right back on the mound. I don't think I've ever seen a 3-pitch as quickly as that one did. He's just firing the ball right now.
Yeah, Jackson tends to work quickly on the mound, but this is quick even for him. Bring up the Tyler Madeloyd, and Madeloyd watches one outside for ball 1. Jackson's thrown in the inning.
We'll have to wait for the immaculate inning.
1-0. That one just missing. Pretty good pitch that time from Hewlett. 2 bikes to the leadoff man. Madeloyd was hit by a pitch and came around to score in the first. In fact, the first pitch of the ball game came in and got him. He flies one right field line, and it's out of play.
Working fast is going to be huge here for the Collegians. Just going to keep the defense involved, especially on a hot day. You know, I know the guys don't want to be out there for too long.
2-1 once again down the right field line, but this one also drifting foul. So Hewlett up at 2-2 here with 2 away in the second. 3-1 lead for the Foxes. Hewlett trying to get his team back on the bats. 2-2. And the count runs full. Hewlett's payoff pitch. Fly ball into right center field. No one's going to get there, and Richardson cuts it off in the gap. All right, let's try this again. Had some internet trouble, but we're back with you here in Lakewood. The good news is the video has been up for a little while, and you can see the scoreboard there, see maybe a little bit of what's going on. Is stream rate is not ideal. You're good. And so Fort Collins leads it now 7-1 as they have really gotten to Jackson Hewlett here in the third. They've had 5 hits and a hit by pitch, and it's down to the 9-hole makeup. Runner at second is Tim Fitzgerald. Jeff Vance, who just singled, is at first. High fly ball from to be the first out of the inning. Amador underneath it, grabs it, and that will be out number 1. So back to the top of the order now, and Tyler Modeloid. Barring a double play, the Foxes ought to go through the order here in the third. It looked Jackson Hewlett may have turned things around on the hill as he pitched a good second inning, but things have turned south here in the third. 7-1. And up to the plate, Tyler Modeloid, who's yet to be retired. There's a ground ball to short. Kostecka flips to second for 1. Farrell's return throw to first is not in time. Runner moves up in Fitzgerald. So they get the guy at second, and at first base is Tyler Modeloid. So the fielder's choice brings up Brett Erickson. Erickson is 0 for 2. Guy who's really beat up his former team this year, but they've kept him quiet here today. First pitch is high and outside for ball 1. We've seen this Collegians offense score their share of runs this year, so they're not out of it by imagination, but you got to feel like Hewlett needs to get out of this inning right here. And we're through 2 2/3. Erickson flies one to right. Richardson racing towards the line, over the line, and it drifts right in front of him. It's a foul ball. There's a long run for him there. He was shaded a little bit towards center.
Do have that cutout bullpen here at All-Star Park. Give him a little extra room, but it was just out of his grasp. Collegians do have somewhat bullpen. We have an obstructed view from the press box. Can't quite tell who it is.
Looks like a right-hander, which is no surprise, as everyone on the Collegians roster in terms of pitching today is right-handed. No, Reggie Paris was the only lefty, and he's no longer with the team. 1-2 again to Erickson, and Brett takes it high and evens the count at 2. Mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, but the team that wins today will play at 5 against either the Game Day Saints, the Rough Riders, or the Sox. Swing and a miss. He struck Erickson out. The loser will play at 8 a.m. Collegians of the top of the fourth inning here from Lakewood, the Fort Collins Foxes and the Boulder Collegians. Round 2 of the RMBL playoffs. Fort Collins up 7-1. Connor Kosteka stands in to lead off this inning. And shot towards the right side. The first baseman's out to get it. Flipped to the pitcher covering is in time. And that'll be the first out. So clean defense thus far. Collins. Collegians cannot say as much. They've had a couple errors that have hurt them in that third inning. Ball thrown around the infield a little bit. Hunter Hudson will get a chance his second time around here. He's in the first.
Defense is so important to winning these kind of playoff games. The difference when it comes down to it, and the Foxes have just played better defense today.
Especially when your pitcher in Hewlett hasn't had his best stuff. You got to have a clean field behind him. Domination of Hewlett not being quite on point, and the defense has made it a 6-run lead for Fort Collins. Other than Turner Davis, the Collegians haven't done much offensively. They've yet to record a hit other than Davis's double.
We've seen the Collegians come back from deficits such as this. They definitely have it in them, such as that Turner Davis's walk-off home run 2 days ago.
As Hudson throws the bat towards the dugout in frustration after grounding out, and that's the second out. Oh, with 2 away, here comes Turner Davis.
Body language is really important in the game of baseball, I would say. Not type of message you'd want to send, especially down 6 here.
Yeah, clearly from frustration on the part of Hudson.
Play frustrated, good things aren't going to happen.
Great breaking ball from Richter, is in for a strike. And, well, the frustration, see why. They're down 6 runs, and Richter has been brilliant on the mound thus far. He's hit his spots, and his stuff has looked pretty good as well.
Sometimes when things just aren't going your way, you got to stay positive. You always have time to come back.
0-2 pitch to Davis is low. It's 1-2. It's like they just need that one spark, maybe a double down the line and have that guy get driven in and say, oh, well, hey, we can do this. After that tough.
Davis started out the second inning with a nice double to the right field gap, but they were able to score him. See if we can do that again here.
It'll be a bit tougher to do so as it's with 2 outs now. 2-2 on the big first baseman. Richter rocks into his most in the dirt, and the count runs full. So a good at-bat here for Turner Davis. That's another thing that can help boost you up a bit, is take some good at-bats, what the result is. Collegians trying to do that here.
Exactly, patience. You don't want to get too aggressive up there. Pitcher's just going to take advantage of you, get stuff you don't want to. Can't change your approach too much down 6.
Richter shakes off a sign, got the one he likes, delivers, and Davis fouls it away.
We've seen Davis take professional at-bats all year. Looks like we've got another one here. Especially for a big guy with a lot of pop. He's just fouling pitches off. Now he's got a good eye at the plate, and it's what you love to see from your four-hole hitter.
Yeah, he's one of those guys who, even though it's inside out, that's his goal up the plate, to poke the ball the other way, the 3-2. Gets one inside and sends it the other way, but weakly on the ground to second base. Throws it over to first and ends the inning. So the Collegians go down 1-2-3 fourth. Fort Collins looking to add on to their 6-run lead when they come up on the Collegians Broadcast Network.
Facebook? Yeah, that's what I hear. I don't know how to use Facebook. It's a lot more complicated, I think.
Hewlett trying to get the first out of this fourth. Here's his 2-2 pitch. Fly ball towards the right center field gap, drifting towards right. Richardson's shading his eyes, picks it up, and that's the first out. That's still battling the sun out there in right field, but Richardson able to make the grab. So a better start here to the fourth for Hewlett, as Manny sees. That'll bring up Talon Mullins-Ohm.
Getting that first out of any inning is definitely key. It kind of sets the tone for the rest of the inning, builds the pitcher's confidence.
First pitch to Mullins-Ohm, and he flies one to left. Hollins for a moment, but has it in his tracks for out number 2. So good start here to the fourth for Hewlett. He's gotten a pair of outs on just 5 pitches. Pardon me, that's 6. Either way, he's working efficiently here as Clay Lockett, the DH, stands in. First pitch to right down the heart of the plate for strike 1.
Hewlett again more aggressive this inning.
Right there as well. This one a little more towards the outside part of the plate. And it's 0-2 on Lockett.
You can just see when he's throwing strikes, his tempo just picks up dramatically.
The confidence certainly changes on the mound in the body language as well as the pace. The breaking ball misses low, and the pitching is better. That breaking ball much better than what we saw in the third. One missing inside with the fastball. He's hitting his spots here. It's 2-2. Next offering is fouled away.
Lockett's had a pair of singles in the game thus far. See if we can finally retire him here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, the two guys, and Mullins-Ohm, had both reached twice as well before Hewlett got him here in the 4th.
A lot of traffic this game. Let's hopefully have a clean inning here.
2-2 one more time. It's high. 3 balls and 2 strikes now to Lockett. Trying to work it out with just 3 batters. Here's his payoff pitch. Pop up right back behind the plate. This one drifting towards the dugout. And Turner Davis is there to grab it and end the inning. So a good clean frame on the hill. That's good to see from the right-hander as he gets them 1-2-3. Collegians looking for some runs when we come back. 5th inning on the way from Lakewood. Well, welcome back to Lakewood. Fouls off the first pitch he sees of this 5th inning from Joe Richter. Collegians down 7-1. A 4-run third and a 3-run first. Foxes have them up by that margin. Ethan Jordan alongside Jack Carlo here at All-Star Park. This one missing an awfully late strike called there, and it's 0-2. Collegians in desperate need of base runners. They've had 2 thus far today. The 0-2 is fouled away.
Richardson grounded out to shortstop in his first at bat. He just rolled over a bit too much there. We'll see if he can straighten things.
Yeah, Richter's gotten a number of ground balls out of these Collegians, really getting them to roll over. In fact, none of the outs recorded by Boulder have been on the ground ball.
Boulder has put together some good at-bats. Not sure what Richter's pitch count is at this point, but it's got to be up there.
0-2 to Richardson, and Kelby pops one to short, or chops one to short, pardon me, lays it on the long hop and throws him out by a half a step. So with the leadoff man Richardson retired, that brings up Chris Amador. He too grounded out against Richter, but his ground out drove in the Collegians' lone run. They've only had one hit. That was a Turner Davis double. He was moved over, and then Amador brought him home on the ground ball. They really need Chris to get aboard here. The first pitch is high, ball one. Oh, perfectly well here. Amador runs well, so maybe he can swipe second, try and generate some offense for this Collegian squad.
We haven't seen a lot of action from the bottom of the Collegians lineup.
That one's low, so it's 2-0 on Amador. Good start to trying to get him on base. This one's flown back behind short. Erickson retreating into the outfield, grabs it now. So Amador goes after a 2-0 pitch and pops out. And there are two away in the fifth. Bring up the 7-hole hitting Kix Farrell. Kix 0 for 1 today, as are so many others.
He put a charge into that fly ball to center field his first at bat. I think he's seeing the ball well today.
Sees this one nearly get him for ball one. And that one misses. 2-0 on Farrell, so maybe a chance to get a 2-out base runner aboard at least for Logan Cowart. That one's there for strike one. Fastball that time from Richter. The good news for the Collegians is this is a 9-inning game, so they've got a couple extra innings to work with trying to come back. 2-1 to Farrell. And Kix chops it weakly on the ground to third. Charging and picking it up is Pila, and his throw is not in time. So an infield Kix Farrell trying to get something started here with two away. And you never know, Jack. Sometimes it's the littlest of hits like that third base line that can get something started.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe steal a base. Cowart can get a single. Yeah, and then all of a sudden you got to run.
You force Richter to work out now as well. Farrell does run well. There's a strike. For those of you who weren't paying tonight, the Collegians didn't play just one game. They played in that playoff game, but a couple pitchers as well as some of us interns played in their other game against the Sterling Express. I wore Kix Farrell's jersey, and he told me if I was going to wear his jersey that I had to steal a base. So wearing his jersey can steal one here.
Certainly a blast yesterday, but yeah, also happy to get back into the booth. More comfortable up here, I think, Ethan.
I think the team is happy to see us back in the booth as well, as there's a swing and a miss from Cowart. He's down 1-2. Well, the whole team went and picked up a win, and somehow the POs and interns won a game as well against the Express. The Express were throwing everybody out there. They had POs too. It was all in good fun for the final home game of 2019. Swing and a miss from Cowart, and it's another good inning on the mound from Joe Richter. He has come down this Collegians lineup. What a performance thus far from the right-hander. And his team is up 7-1 as we move to the bottom of the fifth here in Lakewood. Fifth. His team hasn't offered him much run support as they're down 7-1. But he's going to try and work through the middle to bottom of this order. Caleb Tolman leads it off and takes ball one just outside. And this bottom of the fifth inning, of course, is brought to you by Sanitas Brewing Company's every day. If you're at the bottom of your fifth, pick up some Sanitas beer to go along with whatever fifth you have.
Hewlett coming off a strong fourth inning. We'll see if he can keep it going here in the fifth. Collegians looks like they still have warming up in the pen, or at least sitting down there.
Yeah, we'll see what length of leash Hewlett has here in this fifth inning. He's down 2-1.
It looks like that's Olofsson. He's kind of just sitting on the tarp right now, assuming he's hot, ready to go.
It's ground ball and unable to be fielded by Coach King. Oh, that's not Coach King. Coach King gives his assistant coach, so not picking that one up cleanly, and it's 2-2. Coach King down at the third base line, the head coach of these Fort Collins Foxes, was the win. Coach's challenge is Caleb Schaefer is punched out by Jackson Hewlett to begin this fifth inning, so there's the third strikeout part. Oh, it's short by quite a bit there. The fifth strikeout of the day for Hewlett, and that's one thing he's done so far is strike guys out. I mean, he got 2 Ks in the second, and in each of the 2 rougher strikeout as well.
Hewlett can't get the strikeout, which is a big key, especially when you're having a lot of traffic. Can get you out of some jam.
Misses up around the head of Fitzgerald, who has to lean out of the way. 1-0. Fly ball to center, chasing Amador back. Chris tracking it over his shoulder and then reaches up, and that is a tough ball to play, even though that one was fairly routine. That ball hit over your head, directly over your head in center field.
You're not going to play extremely deep for the hitter, who hasn't displayed too much power this game. So he definitely had a ways to run to track that one down.
Just the angle of it can be tough when right at you like that.
Also with the setting sun there in the west, I'm sure the right fielder and center fielder are going to have some troubles today.
Gesture the batter now as he takes ball 1 outside. Vance struck out in the second and then singled in the third. Next offering to him. Ground ball picked up by Nick Hall. Throw is in time to retire the catcher, and it's another 1-2-3 inning. It's another 1-2-3 inning on the hill for Jack as he works him clean here. He's gone through 6 straight batters. Collegians need to give him some runs. They're down 7-1 as we move on to 6th here from Lakewood. I don't know, it was just like buzzing at me when you... I was protecting on 0-2, okay? Collegians down by a sizable margin here. 6th inning, 7-1 our score. Fort Collins Foxes and the Boulder Collegians in round 2 of the RMBL playoffs. Ethan Jordan and Jack Carlo along with you for this match as the 9-hole hitter Nick Hall takes ball 1 inside. That would go a long way to helping the Collegians if the 9-hole man can get aboard before the order here, maybe get something started. 1-0, misses low, 2 balls and no strikes. Work a couple of 2-ball counts in that 5th, but not much came of it. They did record their second hit thanks to a Kix Farrell infield single, and it's 3-0 on Hall as the fastball misses inside. Hollinger waits on deck. 3-0 pitch to Hall is low for ball 4. And so Hall draws his second walk of the day. Guys who you love to have in the 9-hole. He's just such a patient hitter, Nick Hall is, and he's a guy who's going to get a board for you in that almost that secondary leadoff spot before. And so that will bring up that top of the order, and Hollinger's grounded to or has hit it to short twice, once in the air, the other time on the ground. That resulted in a double play. Looking to avoid that right here. Watches ball 1. So it's been 5 straight balls to start the inning for Richter. He's been terrific. 1 run allowed, 2 hits through 5 innings. 1-0. Jimmy matters not as it's strike 1 anyway. Avoid falling into the loser's bracket here in this double elimination tournament. 1-1 pitch to Hollinger. Good, nice frame behind the plate as well from Vance, and it's 1-2. Fastball right on the outside corner. Vance made it look even better than it was. So now Hollinger behind in the count, 1-2. Hall at first. Hollinger ground ball to third. This might be 2. They go to second for 1. The return throw not in time to get Jimmy. And so it's a fielder's choice for Hollinger. So it doesn't completely kill the rally, but not adding anything productive to it either, as Hall switches places with Hollinger. I'll bring up Connor Kostecka with 1 away.
It's 2 on the day. Looks like he flew out to the left and grounded out to first. See if a little traffic here might get his bat going.
Hollinger is the first runner that's been on for Kostecka, as he had a double play rolled in front of him last time, but he pops this one up in there for it, and that's the second out. So Joe Richter not giving the Collegians much of anything here. He has kept them all game long. Comes Hunter Hudson, the switch hitting catcher. Hudson is grounded out to second base twice.
And I don't know if you, but Hudson's had a jersey number change. He's now wearing Chris Jimenez's number 5. He was wearing a sport number 11 earlier in the year. Exactly why.
It's interesting as this one goes to the backstop. Hollinger up to second base, so a chance for an RBI now for Hudson. And it's not like Jimenez had the number before Hudson did, because Jimenez was a little later joining the team. Jerseys had already been dished out to all the other guys, so maybe that 11 jersey was damaged or something like that. I don't know.
Could be a number, I don't know.
Hudson looking for some good luck here, trying to drive that run in. And he gets some as it bounces over the head of the first base. It goes over the head of Schaefer. Hollinger coming to the plate will score as Hunter Hudson drives in the second for the Collegians.
That number 5 jersey still has some hits in it.
And that took an awfully tough hop on Schaefer. It looked like it was going to be fairly routine for him, up and over his head on that tough dirt there, Jack. You've played here before, and you were telling me that much like our home field up in Boulder, this has got some pretty rough conditions on the infield in terms of how hard the ground is.
Similar to concrete, especially late in the season here. Also, the run parks typically put most of their dirt on early in the season, and as you get to the near to the end of the summer, all the dirt kind of blows or finds its way into the outfield grass. So you don't have a lot to work with.
Right. And if they're going to put new dirt on, it's going to be spring season for the high school teams that play here, if anything. So
this field does play host to a few fall ball tournaments. I did play here with the Collegians, I believe 2 years ago. Collegians youth team. Yes, it was a hard infield. That's the main thing I remember playing shortstop here.
I know in years past it's played 3A state playoffs, or maybe it was 4A, I'm not remembering. 5A is down at All City, and I think 4A was like in Pueblo or something like that.
4A was in Colorado Springs, the 5 Stadium, and UCCS's new field.
So I think it's 3A that plays here at All-Star then.
To play, I think, at all. I definitely enjoyed playing here. I guess besides the infield. But beautiful park with a, kind of Rockies course field style scoreboard.
Well,
definitely cool to play here.
It was built to model Coors Field a little bit. Behind us, you have kind of a mini replica of the clock tower at Coors Field. 1-1 is lined down the right field line and out of play by Davis. Of course, that scoreboard out there looks like the old Rockies scoreboard. They got that new mountain-shaped scoreboard now at Coors Field.
That's true. They'll have to update it now.
The field here named Kelly Scott McGregor Field after the longtime Rockies president who passed away a number of from, I believe it was a heart attack.
2010, yeah.
Davis chops one foul, and along with Todd Helton has, in essence, his number retired as the initials KSM are posted along with the number 42 and number 17. And that Yankees Hall of Fame and park outside of Coors Field is going to be named McGregor Square.
Definitely excited for that. I believe that opens up like next season, Ethan.
And I was just down at Coors Field. They've not gotten, it's not near the end of its construction as they're just getting started on it, it appears.
It's going to be a great place to go after games and, get a drink, party. I think that's huge for the Rockies. We've seen teams like, the Cardinals and St. Louis, have kind of a square like that.
I think the Cubs have one.
Cubs, yeah.
And Rockies got a Hall of Fame as well.
Yes. Okay.
So that will be cool. The 1-2. Davis watches it upstairs. Tough take, but he's glad he did, and it's 2.
Still a young franchise, but the Rockies have done some things in their 26 years now.
Yeah, put up a Hall of Fame. There's enough players that you can at least fill it out comfortably. And it's also nice to give some recognition to some coaches, staff, front office that you don't get from retiring numbers. This one shot to second. Oh, a fine grab out there by Matt Alloy as he dives to his right to snare the line drive from Davis in the inning. But the Collegians strike for another. 7-2 our score now as the Fort Collins Foxes look to win it here against the Collegians. So the Collegians pull themselves within 5. We'll move to the bottom of the still 7-2 Fort Collins.
Who's saying
All right, we're ready whenever you are, I think. Yeah. Oh, welcome back to Lakewood. Mitch's computer, our producer engineer, does such a nice job. Brett Erickson throws out Logan Cowart here in the 8th. His computer, working for no explicable reason. It just popped up with a message saying we had a problem with a smiley face, and we were like, this is not happy, but oh well. But we're back with you now. Collegians still down 7-2 here in the 8th inning. Joe Richter going back to work on the hill. He's been terrific. Nick Hall, who's been aboard twice, trying to start a rally here with one away in the 7th. Things starting to get late here on the Collegians, down by 5. And Hall takes ball 1.
Now down to their last 5 outs to work with. Collegians will have the middle of the order up for the 9th inning. It's always a good thing.
Be within more than 5, I'd imagine, in that 9th.
Yes, it's a tall task right now.
At least score 2 here in this inning, I think, is the meant. More would be appreciated, but at least 2. 1-1. And Hall grounds it foul past Danny David Linehan. Even unable to come back in this one, their season would not be over, as it's a double elimination tournament. Neither of these teams have lost thus far. The Collegians is that next game would be at 8 o'clock on Saturday, and that's not p.m., that's a.m. 8 o'clock sharp down at All City Field. That's an hour sub Boulder. So we figure they're going to be there an hour at least before the game. You got to be go and leave Boulder at 6. As Hall swings and misses, he's down on strikes. That's a little 5:30 at least wake up time. That's tough.
Yeah.
Who?
Still a must-win game here today.
Yeah, this is one you want to win. It seems to me that whoever is already in the loser's bracket should have to play the 8 a.m. game, not a team that's already won a game, but I don't make the schedule, as Hollinger fouls.
The one pro there is that it will not be 100 degrees at 8 a.m.
True.
So
There is that.
Yeah. That's the one benefit. This field does not have lights, so it would be a little difficult to play a night game. It's also cooler.
Oh, I'm trying to remember if All City has lights or not.
They do.
I thought so.
Yeah.
You got the football stadium over there, too. For who plays there? Is it Denver South, I think? It's wherever Philip Lindsay went to school. They play there. Popped up. Remember, I called a game in high school with his brother playing. As catches made by Erickson in shallow right center field to end the inning. So the Collegians have one more inning to try and score, but they got to get through the bottom of the 8th first. They trail it as we take a break here on the Collegians Broadcast Network.
sold to a stranger, but at least I got buried alone. Always knew I was gonna get knocked out. Got no grudge to hold. I can feel it, how you need it.
Collegians down 5 runs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Jake Olafson has come out of the pen to try and hold the deficit at just 5 for the top of the 9th. And his first pitch is in for a strike against Jeff Vance. So we bracket into the press box to try and give you an idea of what we're looking at for Saturday. If the Collegians are able to deficit, they would play at 5 p.m. against the winner of the winner of a game that will happen tomorrow between the Colorado Sox and either the Game Day Saints or the Rough Riders. If the Collegians indeed do fall here to Fort Collins, as Olafson offers 1-on-1 and 1, it's outside. If they do fall today, then they would play at 8 a.m. against the winner of a game between Denver Pirates and whoever loses the game between the Saints and Rough Riders. So they would play the Rough Riders or the Pirates or the Saints tomorrow or on Saturday if they do fall here today at 8 o'clock in the morning.
If they win that game, they have another game at 2 p.m. the same day. Still have a chance to win this tournament. It's be a harder road.
Right, double elimination. If they win that game, then they'd have to play at 11 o'clock on Sunday. So another fairly early morning. 11 o'clock doesn't sound that number. You have to come from Boulder, as this is driven into left field for a base knock off the bat of Jeff Vance. They would have, if they do, they would need to win at least 3, probably 4 more games. Actually, it would be 4 in order to win the tournament. They'd have to make it out of the losers bracket. Then they would have to defeat whoever went through the winners bracket twice in order to win.
Would be a triple header on Sunday.
Yeah, with the limited players available to the Collegians, that could be.
Yes. We're a little low on pitching.
They would play in that second game, should they be able to win the first elimination game. They would play whoever. Hold on. Because it's saying the loser of that game, but if the loser has already lost twice, then I guess it's a bye for the other team. Because here at, I wish we could show you a shot of this bracket. We're trying to describe it to you as best we can with Prokop at the plate. But at 11 o'clock is the loser of game 1. Oh, hold on. So that's the Cougars. Now, see, this is what I don't get about this bracket, is who the Collegians already beat in this tournament get a better game to play. They get to play at 11 a.m., where the Collegians have to play at 8.
Yeah, typically winning is rated with better game times.
I guess the Collegians have more time to rest between games, is the thinking there? I don't know. Because game 7 will have to play back-to-back against whoever wins the game 8. Game 8 would be the game the Collegians play if they fall here today.
Back-to-back, I always found out as I was playing is a bit more preferred. You know, if you have like a couple hours off, you have that awkward kind of time period.
And that's why I feel like the Collegians, or not because it's the Collegians, it's the winner of game 1 should play at least at or the loser of game 1, even if they lose later, should play at 11 instead of at 8. But runner takes off, throw down to second, skips in, and is not in time to get Vance. So the catcher swipes it back. The Foxes threaten here in the 8th. Foxes will play the Sox or the Saints or the Rough Riders if they win this one on Saturday at 5. And then if they win there, they will move on to the championship series, depending on how long it goes, on Sunday. So there's certainly an emphasis on staying in the winner's bracket in this tournament, as Olaf misses low, and Prokop draws the free pass.
And a solid start from Hewlett as he departs after innings pitched. Jake Olafson now on the mound for the Collegians. He's gotten himself into a bit of trouble here to start the 8th inning.
This one fouled out of play by the leadoff man, Tyler Modeloid. I mean, this is a tough road for Boulder. You have the best team in the league because you won. And then if you lose to them, you have to play the earlier game. I think this, if it was up to me, I'd make some changes to this bracket, but it's not. So they probably more than we have today. 0-1. In for a strike. Good breaking ball from Olafson.
Collegians are seeded fourth in this tournament out of 6 teams.
Yeah, 6 teams enter the bracket at the beginning, and then there's added in terms of Fort Collins to make it 7 because it's a 7-team league, so the 1 seed gets a bye. So you had
oh, yes, you are correct, Ethan.
You had 2 first-round matchups yesterday, and then you've got another first-round matchup here today between the Saints and the Rough Riders. And that Saints-Rough Riders game almost feels like they get, I don't know. It gets a little hairy with the 7 teams.
The odd number never helps.
But as it is, the Collegians will tomorrow if they lose in this one, and at 5 tomorrow if they win.
1 game at a time.
This one's fouled away.
You guys want to put this in front of the camera maybe at the end?
Sure. Yeah, we'll give you a look at this bracket that we're looking at here at the end. We'll stick it in front of our camera once the game has concluded so you can take a peek at it and see what we're talking about.
I'm not sure. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's because we're college students and we don't get up early that we're so focused on this.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, Eddie Toledo didn't want to play at 8 a.m.
Middle of the night for a lot of these guys. They're wake up, play game, go to bed. It's their day. I was talking to Caleb. He often doesn't get up till about 1 in most afternoons.
Oh, boy.
Could be a rough morning for him.
By the time he wakes up, he'll have played, maybe started a second.
Yeah. He things that day, too.
He pitched yesterday in the not as important game at Scott Carpenter Park. Went 2 innings. Fly ball foul from off the bat of Erickson.
With these long tournaments, it's really important to just keep your pitchers fresh. Hewlett going 8 innings, 7 innings, certainly helped us out. 1 inning here for Olafson shouldn't do too much harm. He should be fresh, hopefully tomorrow. We keep it short at least.
Both runners take off, and it's in and out of the glove of Hunter Hudson, so everybody moves up 90 feet. No. Erickson has a big chance to swing away. Here's the pitch from Olafson. Swing and a miss by Erickson as he was fooled badly on that one. 1-2.
Erickson's had a bit of a tough day at the park. He's 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts. Looking to avoid his 3rd K of the game.
Can forget about all of that with a base knock right here. That would really kind of put this one out of reach. Here's the 1-2. One will get out of play. Erickson will take a long walk as a new base to the umpire.
And the Foxes will need to dike the 10-run mercy rule here in the 8th. I don't think the Collegians are too worried about that, but it would be the 9th inning deficit at 5.
Anything more than that, and it really starts to feel out of reach. 5's a stretch as it is. As Erickson still battling it. Fouls another one off.
Collegians the 9th left. Kosteka, Hudson, and Davis. 2-3-4, always a good way to start a rally.
And all 3 of those guys just going to be trying to get on base. Even if all 3 of them get on, that doesn't even bring up the tying run.
No. It's all about base runners.
And lots of them. Next pitcher, Molson, is fouled by Erickson, so good battle for him. Oh, boy, this Rough Riders and Game Day Saints game that's going on right now. The loser of which, I believe, will face the Collegians tomorrow. No, the loser of that will play a game, So the Collegians play Saturday at 8 a.m. if they fall in this game. The loser of the Game Day Saints and Rough Riders game that's tied at 5 in the bottom inning will play the Pirates for the right to play the Collegians, and Erickson has just given the Foxes a 6-run lead now. Drives in the runner. Up to third goes Prokop. So Brett Erickson finally reaches base on a big spot, extending the lead to 6. But that's a big game between the Rough Riders and Saints. Both of their first games of the tournament. So no kind of elimination going on there.
We'll keep an eye on that game as we go along here.
With all the runs scored, that one taking a little bit longer than this one. That one misses inside. The winner of that game will face the tomorrow at 5. The loser will face the Pirates at 2. Obviously, the loser will elimination game. Pitch gets away, and now the lead to 7 for the Foxes as Prokop comes in to score on the wild pitch.
It's like Olafson just overthrew that ball a bit into the left-hand batter's box. I don't know. Tough with a runner on third, and I don't think Hunter Hudson behind the plate really had much of a chance.
And how about this? Have the bases loaded with 2 outs in the bottom of that 7th inning. They tied the game up already in the 7th as the Rough Riders had a 3 of the 7th, and then Game Day added 1 to their score in the bottom to make it 5-5. And Aaron Hammond has a chance to give his team the lead. He's up 3-1 in the king up of the count. Crowley Pilot draws the walk, and he is aboard. That brings up that brings up Taylor Mullins-Ohm.
Olafson's still a pitch away inning. Try to limit the damage to 2 here in the 8th.
Rough Riders, would be my guess.
And Olafson misses outside there. It's 2-0 now.
John Cage is coming into the booth trying to figure out who the Collegians might be playing tomorrow. Mullins-Ohm way ahead in the count here, and Hudson going to have a chat with his pitcher. And welcome back to Lakewood. Our apologies. The internet here cutting out once again. It reconnected. Hopefully stay with you for the rest of this ball game. Ground ball to second. Picked up by Farrell. Tag the bag for 1. Throw to first is not in time, and another run comes in to score. So I'll make it an 8-run lead now for Fort Collins. Not entirely certain of exactly when we cut out, so just wanted to reiterate that if the Collegians indeed do fall today, down by 8 runs, they'll play Saturday at 8 o'clock in the morning at All City Stadium. For us is that All City Stadium's internet is a lot better than it is here at All Star, so we should be able to bring you the game uninterrupted. But that game at 8 a.m. will be either against the Rough Riders, the Saints, or the Pirates. The Rough Riders and Saints are playing right now. They will play the Pirates, the loser of the Pirates, and the winner of that game will play the Collegians. Before we got cut off, we were talking about how the Saints had the footed in the 7th inning. They did score 1 run, but ultimately could not bring that anybody around with 2 outs and the bases loaded. So we're still tied at 5 over at All City. Picked up by Kosteka, flipped to second for the final out of the inning. So the Collegians down by a wide margin, 8 runs. They'll try and work a miracle here in Lakewood when we come back. Podcast Network. one at 11, one at 2, and one at 5.
Yeah.
And so they just play till
Gotta
2.
be some reason. They don't want to put the lights on. I don't know.
So dumb.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna be there.
I don't know if I'll be there either. TBH.
No one's gonna watch it at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
People are waking up early.
See, people are going to want to watch it later. It could be the last game of the season, too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'll see what Shapiro wants to do, too.
Yeah.
If he's doing it.
Okay.
Jake Shapiro getting up at 8 a.m. would be something.
Oh, no. What time? I wonder what time he left the party.
Usually, oh, I guess, yeah.
We left
I was
together.
about to say, did you leave before him? And I was like, wait a minute.
At the same time. Yeah. He was there for like at least another hour.
Oh,
So probably. Seems a little hanged up.
Jake Shapiro. What a kid.
Yes.
I guess he's not a kid, he's an adult.
Seems like
That's scary.
Useful information.
Reese David on to pitch for Fort Collins. Finish off the Collegians here in Lakewood. Top of the 9th inning. Collegians will have their two-hole hitter Connor Kosteka, then Hunter Hudson and Turner trying to come back from down 8 runs. 10-2 our score. Reese ready. Here's his first pitch, and it misses low and inside to Kosteka. Ball 1. Next offering is upstairs. Well, as Yogi Berra said, it ain't over till it's over. Collegians there have a lot of work ahead of them if they want to try and win this one. They've moved on to the bottom of the 8th now in All City, the Rough Riders and the Saint 5. Rough Riders unable to score on the top of the 8th. Saints coming up to bat. Here's the 3-0 from Reese. And misses ball 4. So Kosteka draws a leadoff walk, and, well, that's a good way to start the top of the 9th inning with a walk. Collegians are going to more of those, though, if they want to try and come back in this one.
Also get a chance to see switch hitting catcher Hunter Hudson from the right side now against the left-handed pitcher. We don't see too often.
Here's the first pitch to Hudson. And Hunter takes it out for ball 1.
Not sure which side is his natural side. It's always interesting to see how, like, some guys have more pop from the left side or more pop from the right. Now here soon with Hudson.
It's 2-0 on Hudson. He does have 1 home run this year. I don't remember which side he hit it, the left side, though. Yes. Coach King is going to come chat with his pitcher here.
Ball's probably a good idea.
Yeah, try and settle him down a little bit. You're not super concerned right now. The bullpen's quiet as they're up by 8.
Just need 3 outs.
Collegians would have to go through the order in order to win this one here, or at least take the lead in the top of the 9th. And they'd have to go through the order, I think, in order to tie it, too, unless the 8th guy to come up hitter everyone's reached. In other words, there's a lot of work to be done. But they've got the leadoff man and a 2-0 count on Hunter Hudson. Make it 3-0 as that one misses inside.
Sure, Davis on deck is just licking his lips. 7 straight balls. Some traffic on.
The 3-0 to Hudson. There's a strike on the mound from David, and it's 3-1. Well, I'll say the Fort Collins Foxes, if they can pull this one off today, will be 1 win away. This one's roped down the left field line. It's a foul ball. All they have to do is beat the Sox or the Saints or Rough Riders If it is indeed the Sox that win, that's no easy task. Sox, the second-place team in the league. They had the lead over Fort Collins when the Collegians left for Kansas, but plenty of league games between then and now, and Fort Collins reclaimed that lead. The Sox and Saints up on each other during that time.
Foxes have been definitely the most dominant team this summer.
They started off the season, what was it, 11-0, as Hudson hits a long fly ball into left field. This one drifting towards the foul pole, and it's gone. So a 2-run bomb here in the inning for Hunter Hudson. Brings the lead down to just 6 now for Fort Collins.
And he does have pop from his right side. That is confirmed.
Yeah, he heard us asking the question. He said, look at this.
Nice. It he took a hang there. Smashed it over the fence.
So the glimmer of hope still remains for the Collegians. No one away in this ninth inning. They're up by, or they're down by 6 now. And returner Davis can't try and do much here. Just try and get on base.
Start another rally.
Oh, there's a good breaking ball. That one, no time from David as he drops in a strike. This breaking ball not the same result. Here's the 1-1. And Davis ropes one into left field. This one over the glove of the left fielder. Davis will have himself it. The throw comes in quickly, so Davis going to have to slide into second. The throw skips away, but good backup by Schaefer. Keeps Davis right there at second base. Mullins got a late start on that, roped over his head.
That'll be Davis' second double of the ball game.
Well, the Collegians have 3 straight guys reach here in the inning. I'll bring up Kelby Richardson.
Richardson 0 for 3 on the day thus far. Looks like he started off the past 2 innings, grounding out to short and flying out to right field. See if you can move Davis over at the leap.
Gonna try and stay patient here against Reese David. The lefty throws in there. We'll see a pinch hitter up next, though, as Johnny Dowse has strided into the on-deck circle to take the place of Chris Amador. 0-1. That one again of Richardson. He had to duck out of the way.
Interesting situation here for Richardson. That David has been a little wild today. But he's still got to be kind of aggressive. He's hung a couple pitches to Davis and Hudson.
David misses low there with the fastball. I think if you're Richardson, you almost sit curveball because that's the pitch he's missed with in the zone the most. Something to drive with that pitch.
Probably taken here 3-0. 3-1, excuse me.
That one misses, and that brings the count now to 3-1. He was indeed taught when a guy's not throwing you the pitch you want. Well, let it go outside. Wonder if he'll have the take on here as well. 3-1. Collegians need base runners, and Richardson flies one to center. Get fairly well, but Tim Fitzgerald was able to run it down in the gap, and that's the first out. Now the Collegians need Johnny Dowse to get aboard. Keep this rally going. Picked up 2 runs already. Turner Davis at second base with a 6-run deficit.
Collegians can't let that first out kill their momentum too much. So we got a chance with David.
Dowse takes a strike. Appears that David has started to find the zone a bit more here. He's been a little more precise pitches. The 0-1 from the southpaw is a breaking ball that's been high. That one not really breaking all that much. That's the pitch he's really had trouble with. He hung the curveball to Hudson, and he's missed with it quite a bit as well.
He's struggling to find command arm side here.
The one, and Johnny hits one towards right field. That'll chase the right fielder over, and going down to a knee is Dylan Prokop to make the catch. So the Collegians got 3 straight base runners, but since then have flown out twice, and Kix Farrell stands a chance.
Farrell is 1 for 3 on the ball game. Using a frustrated at bat to end the 7th inning.
First pitch to him from Reese David, a breaking ball that misses low. Probably the best breaking ball we've seen from David thus far in his outing, but just missed a bit outside. They do have someone loose in the bullpen for Fort Collins, need be, but David seems to have settled down a bit now. His 1-0 is way outside and high as I say that.
I think he's just overthrowing the ball again. Missing arm side almost every pitch.
Brings up Logan Cower.
For Coward, I'm probably sitting a fastball here first pitch. He's had very little command of that curveball, and they haven't been effective when they have been in the zone.
Coach Dick Orcutt for the Colorado Sox stopping by for just a moment in our bracket for the bracket sheet to take out to his game tomorrow. The Sox will take on the winner of that game day Saints Rough Riders game. Next pitch to Coward is low, ball for a ball. Taking a look at that Rough Riders Saints going on right now. We'll give you a score update as soon as we can pull it up. Still 5-5 between those two squads. But the Saints have the bases loaded again, this time with one away and Luke Bailey at the plate. Cowart to third. Going to be a tough charge, having it and throwing to first. It throws over the head of the first baseman. Pila couldn't make the play. It was going to be awfully tough. Threw it cleanly, and Davis will score. The lead is now 5. As Cowart reaches, Farrell up to third.
Looks like he was going to beat that ball out anyways. We'll give him a minute there.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. An E5 on the throw, allowing the runner to move up, but an infield knock for Logan Cowart. By the way, the Game Day Saints have just taken the lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. They now lead at 6. Bailey drew a walk with the bases loaded.
Steve Cowart takes second base here.
And Nick Hall pops it up. Back behind second, into right field it goes. Dylan Prokop makes the grab, battling that sun. And the Collegians fall to the Fort Collins Foxes here today, a margin of 10-5. They will play Saturday now at 8 a.m. against, well, that's in the balance between the Saints and Rough Riders, so either one of them or the Pirates, they'll win that Saturday. As we are working on getting a shot of that bracket for you here, so you can take a look yourself and hear what I've been talking about. And here we go. Here's a look at the bracket. You can see the Collegians won their first game there. If you look towards, as we get a little bit of a closer zoom, you can see the one game that says 8 a.m. Game 8 is the game the Collegians will be playing in on, and that will be against either the Rough Riders, the Saints, or the Pirates. Who knows as of yet, as we get a zoom in on 8 there. The winner plays in that game 9 you see up a little bit higher in the bracket. You see the Sox written in there. They already won their game. They'll play the winner of the Saints, Rough Riders, or the Sox, depending on who wins that game between them. Still a lot to be decided in this RMBL with double elimination. Everybody's still in it. We won't have any elimination games until tomorrow. So check Twitter to keep updated on just who will be playing at 8 o'clock on Saturday. That is when we will talk to you next. So for our producer-engineer, Mitch Sanchez, does such a wonderful job getting us these shots. Internet doesn't working to our liking, but he does a great job getting you these broadcasts. And my partner in the booth, Jack Carlo, I'm Ethan Jordan, saying so long from Lakewood, where